following is a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports. Live from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison, this is the Chris Ash Show. Your chance to talk with the head coach of the Scarlet Knights on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by To be a part of the show, give us a call at 1-877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. Now, let's go live to Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison to talk Rutgers football. Here's your host, Chris Carlin.
And we are back. Yes, once again, it is a very special edition of the Chris Ash Show here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, New Jersey. Very special, because tonight we've got a jam-packed house and a terrific cause that Quaker Steak and Lube is supporting tonight. 15% of everybody's checks this evening will go directly to Parents Project MD to support in honor of Danny Garofalo, one of the great Rutgers fans there's ever been. And Dan Sr. is here, and we're so thrilled that Quaker Steak and Lube has put this together. Dine to donate tonight, and it is going on all day long, and we thank them so much for their generosity in that regard. Like we said, 15% of all the checks tonight are going to support Parents Project MD. Chris Carlin, Eric LeGrand back with us. See how we doing?
Doing well, Chris. How are you?
Doing very well, and we're with the coach of the Scarlet Knights, and that is Chris Ash. And Coach, good to see you. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. I'd like to get a drink of the shake here that Eric has. But
I know. I don't think they put enough whipped cream on that, and I'm usually not one to judge. Coach, we got an opportunity for the fans to call in tonight at 877-384-1869. You can tweet your questions for Coach Ash at Rutgers Radio, and if you're in attendance here at Quaker Steak and Lube, come on up front, ask your question. We will get you on the air on RVision and on 1450 WCTC. Well, we'll take a quick look back at this past Saturday, and it was obviously a disappointing day out in Kansas. Coach, why don't you give us your takeaways after going back and examining the tape?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Disappointing day. We had a good week of practice coming off of the Ohio State game. We were banged up, but we had a really good week of practice. Felt good about our preparation. Got out to Kansas, felt really good about our football team. And, when the game kicked off, we didn't play like we'd hoped. 6 turnovers and struggled to stop the run. And you put those two things together, and it made for a bad day. And disappointed. Our players are disappointed. Our whole program is disappointed in the product that we put on the field out there. And it's not us. It's not our team. And we will rebound. We've had a really good couple days of practice here this week, and excited to have our football team get back out and compete again this week.
But I remember, Coach, you said that you had a hurting locker room after that. And what do you say to some of those young guys that have never, really been through that and try to help them, turn the page to this week?
Yeah, well, after the game is over, you go in the locker room and you address the team. There's after games like that, there's not a lot of words that will take care of that pain, that feeling that we all have. So, we do what we normally do. We got a normal post-game routine that we go through, say a few things to the team, and then it was just about hanging together and getting together and leaving and getting back and kind of getting our minds and bodies right and get ready for the next challenge. But, in those moments, they're all different, and there's really no magical phrase or words or things that you can say to make it any better. You just got to go back to work.
You talked about having good practices leading up to it, and it just didn't translate. So as a coach, I know there's no magic elixir or anything, but what do you do to try to ensure that the practices do translate over to Saturday?
You just got to keep working. Again, I haven't done this for a long time. When you have good practices, it doesn't guarantee anything on Saturday. But most of the time, if you have good preparation, good work, good practices, you'll end up playing and performing a lot better on Saturday. And we've had those, and we have performed a lot better than what we did last Saturday. But when you lose, you go back and you look at everything that you've done, you evaluate everything you've done. But you got to really be strong in your beliefs and your convictions and in your process, and we are. And you can't just go change things after a disappointing loss. You stick to what you believe in, and you keep just trying to do it better.
What do you say you have a lot of guys backed up, Coach? Does that change how you change your methods going into practice, or how does that play a role into it?
Yeah, defensively, we have had a lot of players that have gotten banged up in the first couple games. We like to practice at a high tempo. We like to get reps in. We do have to be careful about what we ask our players to do because we don't have a lot of depth, and we want to make sure we get to Saturday as fresh as we can. We are right now. We've cut back a little bit from what we would have done in the past because of that situation. But you do have to be very, very aware of the players and the way they feel, and make sure you're not doing too much throughout the week so they're as fresh as they can be on Saturday. That's a fine line because you still have to practice, you still have to work, and what may not work for one position group because of their situation, the others need it. So it's a fine line you have to walk, and we got to make sure that we take care of the groups or individuals that need it, and we can get work with everybody else.
Once again, our telephone number 877-384-1869. Tweet your questions at Rutgers Radio. We've got a couple of those coming in. We'll get to them in just a few moments. You talked about the depth factor, and one place where it tends to jump out a little bit is on the defensive line. Talk about that a little bit, just from the standpoint of the conditions, what it was like on Saturday. When you got into that second half of the game and struggling to stop the run, how much of that was a factor?
It's always a factor. The defensive line is one position. I don't care who you are. It's one position where you want to have enough depth that you can at least be rotating a two deep at each position to keep guys fresh, because if you're going to be able to stop the run and get off blocks and rush the passer, you have to have a fresh defensive line throughout the course of a game. And where it really starts to show up is late in the second half, if you're not able to do that. And, especially when it's hot, like it was hot at Kansas, and it was warm on the turf, and, we weren't able to rotate as much as we would like to with our defensive line to keep guys fresh and healthy. And, that's kind of where we're at right now. But our guys work extremely hard. They work really hard to try to take care of their bodies so they can play as many reps as they can, as hard as they can go. But it is a challenge right now from that standpoint.
Can you talk a little bit about, Coach, what it's like making some of these sideline adjustments during the game and those type of situations where you have a lot of guys that are going in and out or may not be able to line up the next play and trying to get somebody else ready? Can you talk about those in-game adjustments? Well,
yeah. I mean, it's hard to – right now where we're at, we need some younger players to really step up and improve. And some of them are. You can see the improvement happening really fast. But they've got to get to the point where we really feel like they can go out and they're game ready and they can help our football team. We've got some, defensively, some older guys and some younger guys, and the younger guys really, especially on the defensive line, we need some guys to develop and earn the trust of everybody that they can go out and perform their job consistently so we can give guys a break. But if you don't have that, adjustments are hard. But I truly believe, there's preparation until the foot hits the ball, and then it's a game of adjustments and constantly making adjustments throughout the game from a lot of things. Injuries that happen, schemes that come up that you may not have seen that are new plays or formations. So there's a lot of things that go on throughout the course of the game that are you're constantly adjusting to.
Coach, you made this point during your press conference on Monday, and you look around, and there have been quite a few teams that have struggled in some early games and then have been able to bounce back. And you point to Kansas as being certainly one of them. You point to another one like Temple. They had a couple of rough losses. They go on the road and they beat Maryland. So when you are delivering your message to your team about where you are right now, is that part of it? Like, guys, look around. There are some other examples of where we can get this headed in the right direction as far as this week.
Yeah, we lost a game, and it wasn't a lot of fun. It was a game that we all hoped that we would go out and perform better and have an opportunity to win. We didn't. You know what? We went back to work. The sky's never fallen as fast as people think, and the sun is never as bright as people think. We've got a very tight-knit football team that we absolutely love. We've worked really hard to prepare our team to get ready for opportunities like this because we knew there was going to be a bad day at some point. Last year we lost to Eastern Michigan, a game that nobody wanted to lose. Nobody thought we would lose. We didn't play very good, and we responded and rebounded and went and won some games that people didn't think we'd win either after that game. This football team, I really believe, will do the same thing. We've had great practices. We've got great leadership. We've got a very strong senior class. A couple of them are here tonight that are sick about what we did last week. And as long as everyone's got that feeling, then we'll respond and rebound and be where we want to be. But we do look for other opportunities to show what other people do and talk about how they did it and talk about how we've trained our players for these opportunities to go out and still perform. And I feel really good about where our team is at.
Hey, Coach, I remember as a player, you get that next day to go over the film and correct your mistakes, and you go out and work on some stuff at night. But as a coach, when do you give yourself the time to turn the page and stop watching that film and go on to the next week?
It is hard. Saturday nights after a loss are not a lot of fun. But even a loss or a victory, there's always opportunity to learn and grow and get better. Because we talked to our football team after we beat Texas State. Guess what? There were a lot of things that we could improve on and do better and learn from those issues so we don't continue to make them. After you win or lose, as a coach, you're always thinking about what you can do better, especially after a loss. It's tough Saturday night to sleep. You get up. Sunday morning you constantly replay the game, you rewatch it, and look at a lot of different things when you do that, from just the execution to the effort, calls that were made in certain situations. Did they affect the outcome of the game? But as a coach, just like we talk to the players, in 24 hours you got to flip the page. A lot of times players are going to follow the lead of their coach, and if a coach continually goes backwards and thinks about the previous game and isn't moving forward, then they're going to respond that way too. And I try to lead the charge in that, and I'm not perfect with that, but that's what I have to do so everybody else follows. But kids are more resilient than coaches.
One last one just on that, with Art in particular. How have you seen him respond? What was, outside of the major disappointment that he had, what did you notice from him in the last couple of days?
Well, the thing I do like about Art is he's taken ownership, in the plays that he was in. We had 6 turnovers. We had 3 interceptions. So he wasn't, involved in all of them. But he's trying to use it as an opportunity to learn, just like every player in the program is. We had a lot of guys that had a lot of really good plays in the game. And probably everybody had 1 or 2 that they'd like to take back, and they're learning opportunities. And, he's, as a young player, still learning how to take care of the football and make good decisions. And don't put the ball in harm's way, and don't try to force things. That's really the thing that he's got to learn to work on and get better at in games.
One housekeeping note, so to speak. Blesson Austin, you announced this week, will have surgery on Friday. Just the young man, there was obviously, you wanted to gather as much medical information as you could to help him and your staff and you all get together and make that decision. Obviously he had the knee twisted up and came out of the Texas State game. He knows his body. He's gone through an ACL injury before. He could tell something didn't quite feel right. Got an MRI, didn't quite look crystal clear on what the potential injury was. Went to see several different doctors to get a bunch of different opinions, and all of them basically said, hey, you need to probably go in and get this thing looked at. So that's what he's doing on Friday. Really feel for Bless, because he's worked extremely hard to come back from the ACL injury from last year, and to have something happen like this again and set him back for what his future goals are. It's really tough to watch for him because, again, he's worked really hard. He was poised to have a great senior year. He's really worked hard to help, again, with Isaiah and Saquon to lead the defense in the secondary. But you know what? He's a fighter. Right now, mentally, he's probably a lot better off than he was last year when it first happened, because he knows how to handle it. He knows what to expect and what he's going to have to go through to get back again. All right, well, we'll take our first time out. We come back. Your phone calls for the coach at 877-384-1869. If you're in attendance here at Quaker Steak and Lube, get on up here, ask your question for the coach. And we've got some on Twitter as well, at Rutgers Radio. And we'll preview the Scarlet Knights taking on Buffalo this week. Also, Coach alluded to it earlier, 2 very special guests this evening, 2 members of the Rutgers secondary with us tonight. Saquon Hampton and Isaiah Wharton will join us in just a little while live here at Quaker Steak and Lube. First time out, hang with us for the Chris Ash Show.
Best tailgate? It's gotta be burgers. And an ice cold Coke.
Real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Nah, hot dog.
No, Dodger dog.
I'll drink to that. Pass me a Coke. It's gotta be crawfish. Mac and cheese.
No. 7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day? Race day.
Calls for Coke.
You know it.
It's Tailgating 101.
When we take care of our own hearts, we're also taking care of the people closest to us. So it's comforting to know that RWJ Barnabas Health has New Jersey's most comprehensive cardiac care program, with access to top specialists, minimally invasive heart surgery options, and rehabilitation and wellness programs. So get your heart checked. It's as easy as visiting rwjbh.org/heart. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
This is Cabell Philpott, host of the Nissan College Football Blitz. Heard every Saturday from noon until midnight Eastern on TuneIn.com and the TuneIn app. When there's a big play, a momentum change, and that possible upset happening, not only will we let you know, you'll hear the scores as they happen live. Catch all of the action as we count you down to the college football playoff. It's the Nissan College Football Blitz. Saturdays, noon until midnight Eastern on the College Sports Now channel on TuneIn.com and the TuneIn app.
We have returned to this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, New Jersey. Chris Carlin along with the coach, Chris Ash, and Eric LeGrand. Time right now, though, for our upcoming Rutgers athletic events for you. It's presented by MGM Resorts. We've got a lot of action this weekend. Rutgers field hockey playing Michigan State 3 p.m. on Friday and Ohio State 1 p.m. Sunday. We hope to see you there. Big thanks to our friends at MGM Resorts for sponsoring our upcoming events. As a proud partner of Rutgers Athletics, MGM Resorts invites you for a night of endless laughs at the Borgata Comedy Club all week long, or treat yourself to seeing the Bay Atlantic Symphony on September the 29th. Visit theborgata.com to see all the entertainment experiences MGM Resorts has to offer. All right, Coach, I want to get to a couple of questions on Twitter. Again, you can send them in at Rutgers Radio. This one was one that came in earlier. It's from John Newman. Well, there you go. It's John checking in. The progress, Coach, going with some of the younger offensive linemen in the program. Who are you excited to see step up here in the next couple of years?
Well, we have quite a few young ones that we're excited about. Raekwon O'Neal is playing right now backup left tackle behind Cole. He's really done an outstanding job. Another young guy, freshman Reggie Sutton, that we're really excited about. He needs to put on some weight, get bigger and stronger, but he's got great feet, great work ethic, loves the game. Really excited about those two guys. But we have other guys that have been in the program that may have redshirted. Mike Lonsdorf, Nick Krim, those are some guys that have been around, but they really haven't played a whole lot until this year. Nick Krim started his first game this year. Lonsdorf has been in there. Mike Maietti is still a young player. So we've got quite a few young guys that we're really excited about. But the true freshmen, Raekwon O'Neal and Reggie Sutton, really have impressed us.
With Maietti in particular, Coach, it's interesting. There's so many responsibilities that come with being a center. And guess what? Maybe about halfway through last year, he really started getting a lot of playing time. So outside of physically, describe how he impacts the game from the center position in this offense.
Well, he's got to help ID a lot of things, whether it's a front, the mic, pressure, and communicate those things. And Mike's really smart. He really is, and he communicates exceptionally well. He studies the game. He IDs things outstanding. He helps the quarterback, helps the O-line, and really proud of the improvement that Mike has made over this last year. When Jonah Jackson got hurt last year, he got thrust into action and just got better and better as the year went on. And has done a nice job so far early this year too.
And I know as a D lineman, we get a lot of different reps. You get to rotate in a lot more than you get on the offensive line. Can you talk about now how you get some of those guys reps when, you have 5 guys and maybe somebody might go down? this guy has to step up. But how is it like getting reps for offensive linemen compared to a defensive lineman when you can rep them in and out?
Yeah, it's a little bit different offensively. It's when you talk about a defensive lineman, a lot of times, an individual, a great player can make a defensive line. On the offensive line, it's really a unit. It's 5 guys that have to work together, and the more time that they are together, the better off they're going to be. And you usually don't see a lot of rotation happening on the offensive line because you want that cohesive unit that's worked together, communicates well together, and helps each other out. On the field together as much as you can.
Another question from Twitter, Coach. What is the status on Trey Avery? Could we see him soon?
We hope to. Yeah, Trey is getting better all the time. He's been really week to week, and he's made a huge jump this week, and especially the last couple of days of practice. He's done a lot more, looks a lot better. So we're hoping that we get him back out there to help us, whether it be on special teams or on defense, relatively soon. I think he's a really good player, got a chance to be a big addition to our secondary and to our special teams, so we hope to have him soon.
How about Avery Young? In the last couple of games, we saw what happened at Ohio State, but he seems to be a young man that kind of grows from mistakes, and he played pretty well last week at times, it seemed.
Yeah, Avery's really mature for his age, a true freshman, and I think the older guys, Bless, Isaiah, those guys have really helped him. They've kind of taken him under the wing. They've been in that same situation before, getting thrown into action early, and they're helping him with that. And I think he's done a great job. He's going to be a really good player. He's made a ton of progress here since he's been here, and just in the last few weeks since he's been playing. And I'm excited to watch him grow and develop.
Have you had to have a conversation yet with the younger guys with, injured and hurt, the difference between being injured out on the field and being hurt on the field and playing through bumps and bruises, especially now at the college level?
Yeah, we do talk about that. It's a time of year when you play major college football. They're physical Saturdays, and you're not going to feel 100%. It is what it is, and you're going to have to fight through bumps and bruises. And typically, what happens is you get done with the game on Saturday, you're tired, you're sore. Sunday, you're sore. We got to lift, we got to run, try to help get some of that soreness out. And you really got to take care of your body, on Monday, the day off. So Tuesday and Wednesday, hopefully you can practice as close to full speed as you can. A lot of times, based on the position and the type of game it was, you might not be. But through the course of the week, hopefully you're as close as you can be for the next Saturday. But yeah, there is a difference between being injured and being hurt. And sometimes that's tough for young players that have never really gone through that before to understand that. They say my body doesn't feel right, and it's not. It's just that it's not going to. And they learn it now. They learn it at a young age, and by the time you're an older guy, you know how to take care of your body and what your body feels like, and you just get through it.
Steve checking in on Twitter, asking about the new NCAA rule. It's something we've talked about a couple of times with the 4-game maximum that you can play in before having to make a determination on whether or not a player's going to redshirt. Coach, explain that and how it impacts your team this season.
Yeah, it's a new rule this year where you can play true freshmen in up to 4 games at any time throughout the season. And I think it's a great rule. It's one I wish they would have enacted several years ago, but we finally got it right, and it is the right thing for the player. And really more so at the end of the year, in my opinion, when injuries start to come up, you're always forced to potentially make a decision. Do you burn a kid's redshirt year late in the season or put someone out there that may not be ready to play? And now hopefully you don't have to worry about those decisions at the end of the year. We played some guys earlier in the year already that are true freshmen. In our situation right now, we're not talking about guys redshirt and not redshirt, and we're going to play the guys that give us the best opportunity to go out and play as good as we can in all 3 phases.
I was going to ask you, Coach, how does that go into the decision now with that new rule on how many freshmen you want to get out there? Like, do you want to get a bunch of them out there to just get that experience, or just, you have your select few guys that that are going to help the team, as you said? Yeah,
for me, I've never looked at it as, hey, we've got to get as many guys in a game as we can, or as many guys opportunities throughout the season. I look at who do we put out on the field that gives us the best chance to play the best football. And if that's a freshman, that's a senior, that's what we're going to do. If there's opportunities to get guys in games, for some reason, and it helps benefit them down the road, great. But that's not our focus.
Another question from Twitter from So Amazing NJ. Fans curious about Isaiah Pacheco. Will we see more of him?
Yeah, Isaiah's done a great job. Unfortunately, didn't get a lot of opportunities here this last week, but we do plan on using Isaiah as we continue to go forward here this season. The reps that he has gotten in the first couple of games, he's done a great job. He's a big kid. He's a physical runner. He goes really hard. It's always exciting to watch him play. So, yeah, he'll be in the mix and hopefully be out there getting a lot of reps to help us.
I know it's the case a lot in the NFL for young running backs in particular that one of the things that might keep them off the field younger is learning pass protection. Is that the case in college, and how has Isaiah adapted to that?
Yeah, it is because we have to protect the quarterback, and it's not just the offensive line. A lot of times it's the running back. When you watch pass protection breakdowns, the offensive line, 5 linemen may be doing a great job, but it's the running back when he's in a one-on-one situation that messes up. And that's a really important part of being a very good running back. You look around in the NFL, a lot of times there's a third down back that comes in, and it's because he can protect and the quarterback trusts him. And, as a young player coming out of high school, a lot of times they're not asked to do that, and that is a big transition in college.
When you were a running back and a little bit in high school, you strike a little bit in high school.
A little bit in high school. My whole life. Come on, man.
I watched the tapes. I know. I'm underselling it a bit. But did you relish that opportunity occasionally? Something tells me you wanted to light somebody up when they're coming in trying to make a blip. I'll tell you what.
The only really pass blocking I did was if a defensive end was coming off the edge and we were slide protecting. Other than that, I just wanted the ball.
Oh, so you just wanted the ball.
I'm not going to lie. There was not much pass protection for me. Pop Warner in high school.
Leave that to the other guys. Okay. We've got our first question, and it is our man, Jim. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Coach, I have a question about strength and conditioning. How does strength and conditioning during the season, do you guys modify it from preseason or off-season? Does Kenny Parker kind of work the boys as hard, or is it definitely modified and lessened during the season?
Yeah, it's a really good question because everybody has kind of a different approach to it. A lot of times you'll see programs go to 2 lifting times a week, and it's just more about trying to maintain. We've kind of taken a different approach this year. We want to try to lift a little bit heavier and help our guys be stronger at the end of the season than what we've done in the past. Every program's different. Every needs are different from year to year. We've got a young football team in a lot of positions, and we need those guys to develop and get bigger and stronger as we go through the year. So we are lifting more and lifting heavier than what we've done in the past. But each program's different. But there is science to it, and a lot of it just comes down to what your individual needs are each year.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
1 or 2 more before we take a timeout. Coach Juice on Twitter asking about Giovanni Ricchino, who, of course, played the other day in relief of Art, and where you stand this week as far as who's going to be your starter.
Yeah, we've gone through and evaluated a lot of about what we're doing on both sides and who we're doing it with. I'm not going to announce anything here today, but Gio is awesome. He's been elected a captain for a reason because of the type of person that he is, the way he works, the way he prepares, and absolutely love him. And he's handled this situation like he has in the past, like a pro, and he's all about the team and wants to do anything he can to help his unit and our football team. And I can't say enough good things about Gio.
What impresses you about Buffalo as you start to prepare? We'll get into a little bit more of the nuts and bolts, though. But here's a team that's 3-0 to start the season. What jumps out to you?
Well, I'll start. Lance Leipold's a really good coach. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time, and watched him build a program at Wisconsin Whitewater when I was at Wisconsin, and watched him work at Buffalo. He's in his 4th year. He has a bunch of players that have been, they're playing now for their 3rd year with him. The quarterback, the offensive line, a lot of those guys have been around, and they're a sound football team. They play really hard. I really like what he's done. They've got some really good players at a couple spots. They've got a couple outstanding receivers that make it difficult for defenses because they can run the ball. And if you load the box and do too much one-on-one, they've got the receivers that can beat you over the top in those situations. So they've really complemented their offense with their running game and the pass game, and then defensively they just play hard and they're sound. And,
Coach, I want to know, when you, after you say on Saturday you turn your page into Sunday, go to health. When's the first time you really get to take a good hard look at the next opponent like Buffalo going into the week?
Yeah, I usually do it on Sunday afternoons. Sunday morning is a huge recap of the game for me. I go through and evaluate special teams, offense, defense, prepare for coaches' meetings, prepare for our players' team meeting. And then when the team goes into their position meetings, that's when I go back and I start watching film on the next team.
Coach, we've got Saquon Hampton here. We've got Isaiah Wharton here. We're going to have them up here in just a moment. They've been with you your third year now, these two guys. Give us, just a little thumbnail sketch of both of these guys, what they've meant to your program.
A lot. When you talk about what you want in a player, these two young men couldn't represent our football team any better. They're smart, they're tough, they're dependable, they're selfless. They just have really worked hard to make themselves the best that they can be. And now they're really trying to be leaders for a lot of other people. We talk all the time about guys trying to be the best they can be and also be on a journey and take somebody else with them. That's what leadership is. And these guys have been on a journey for a while, and they're trying to take other people with them. And they're just class acts, and can't say enough good things about them.
When we bring them back, we'll bring them in just a second. We do have our telephone call. Want to get to, not make them wait through those guys. And that's Mike in Paramus. He is up right here on the Chris Ash Show. Mike, how are you? Mike, are you there?
Yes. Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Good. So, Coach, I just wanted to ask you if you felt as though this past week, I think a lot of fans thought that maybe coming into the season we would be full ready, 6-6. First game of the season, we had a great win. Second game of the season, of course, we're facing a very talented Ohio State team. So we come out against Kansas a little bit short. It's one game. Do you think the fans are overreacting over this one loss where we had where we allowed 3 runs for over 50 yards for a touchdown, 2 pick sixes? Some mistakes, but we're a better team than that. I know we are.
Yeah.
So how do you feel as though that everyone's reacting to it?
Well, first of all, it's great to have passionate fans because that means that the football matters and they really care about their team and want to support the team. I get it. When you lose a game and some of the issues that we had come up like that, people get upset. I get upset. Our players get upset, and fans do too. So everyone has an opinion, and that's what's great about sports. But I pay attention to our football team. We're focused on our next team. But I do know, sports and politics usually rile people up as much as anything, and it's part of the business. When you play great, there's great conversations. When you don't, there are negative conversations, and that's just part of the territory. And I'm just glad that we're a place that fans actually are really interested in our program and get fired up about it. Because when we do, win consistently, like we will, we got a lot of opportunities to do that here this year. And our football team is eager and hungry to get back out there and play this Saturday because you already mentioned it. Last Saturday was not our football team. That's not the way we want to play, and that's not the way we'll play as we go forward.
All right, we'll take a timeout. The coach will rejoin us in just a bit, but when we return, we'll be joined by Saquon Hampton and Isaiah Wharton here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison for this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube. Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison. 732-777-WING.
When you think sports, think McGettigan's, the official watch party location for Rutgers football in the premier Irish bar in New York City. Enjoy our watch party specials with $10 buckets of wings and $5 Coors Light beer buckets, and great weekly specials such as Beer and Burger Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, and Ladies Night on Wednesdays. Located at 70 West 36th Street in Midtown Manhattan, McGettigan's is close to some of the city's most iconic landmarks, such as the Empire State Building and Madison Square Garden. So when you think sports, think McGettigan's.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
When we take care of our own hearts, we're also taking care of the people closest to us. So it's comforting to know that RWJ Barnabas Health has New Jersey's most comprehensive cardiac care program, with access to top specialists, minimally invasive heart surgery options, and rehabilitation and wellness programs. So get your heart checked. It's as easy as visiting rwjbh.org/heart. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Best tailgate? It's gotta be burgers. And an ice cold Coke.
Real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Nah, hot dog.
No, Dodger dog.
I'll drink to that. Pass me a Coke. It's gotta be crawfish. Mac and cheese.
No. 7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
An ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day? Race day.
Calls for Coke.
You know it.
It's Tailgate 101.
All right, we have returned for the Chris Ash Show here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, New Jersey on Route 1. Here on 1450 WCTC New Brunswick and on RVision on ScarletKnights.com. Well, special guest this week, Eric, and it's very nice to have a couple of members of the Rutgers secondary and a couple of the senior members of the secondary, the old men, if you will, Isaiah Wharton and Saquon Hampton. Guys, how we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Here we go. Get right up in the mic there. Who's older? You are?
Yeah, about a month.
So do you get the pops? Do you get the Paul Robeson jokes? Do you get all that stuff?
No, I don't get none of those.
Not grandpa the team?
Nah.
First of all, Saquon, let's start with you. You know, the last few years, the development of this team and how you two guys in particular and this secondary has come together as kind of a leadership group of this team. What's been the biggest key in you guys just improving not only on the field but off the field, your cohesion as a unit?
One thing we talk about a lot in our program is brotherhood. So as a unit, we get with our guys each and every day, and we hang out on and off the field, and we bond like that, and that's how we've gotten closer and tighter over the years, and I think that's helped us become a tighter unit as a whole, and not just as one unit as a secondary, but as a whole team. I think everybody's much tighter than they've ever been.
And Isaiah, you could answer this one. I remember, you know, when I was playing and just being able to be in the same room with the guys from year after year, and it's, you know, you gain new guys to the room, but having those same guys in there year after year, can you talk a little bit about what's it like playing with those guys? What's it like going out there and practicing with those guys each and every day, because you have that relationship built with them?
Yeah, it means a lot. I feel like the relationship is everything. That brotherhood is everything. I mean, I know now, like, before the defense, we take the field, like, we put our arm around one another. For me, I got, like, me and Quan, we got 9 games left. So we're just trying to make every opportunity count, and the relationship is everything. And I feel like when you have a strong brotherhood, you play harder for your brothers each and every play.
Now, Isaiah, you know, you and I talked about this a little bit of practice last week, that you're in a very unique situation. You have been a starter since you were a freshman. Not a lot of guys get that opportunity. For you, with the amount of football that you have played, how do you envision yourself as one of the leaders of this team?
I feel like I can relate to a lot of the younger guys in our team, especially like speaking for Avery Young. I feel like he was thrown in the fire. He's a very mature player for how young he is. He reminds me a lot of myself, high character guy, high integrity, and I feel like I can relate to him. I can teach him how to prepare. Coach Ash always tells us that practice habits become game reality. So just constantly staying on top of him, make sure he practices hard so he can perform on Saturday has been huge.
Saquon, when you look at a guy like Damon sliding over from corner to safety, how did you help him with that kind of transition? Because it seems like it's been a pretty easy one, a seamless one for him.
It's been an easy transition for Damon because he played corner, and it's the type of scheme that we play a lot of man coverage. So him sliding over, it was more of a helping him out mentally more than physically, because physically he can do everything that he's asked to do at that position.
And what's it been like for you guys now, as you said, helping some of these younger guys with the mental part of the game and how they've been able to grasp onto that as they've been thrown into the fire? I know you said physically they got it, but mentally it's not easy playing defensive back, especially to the corner and safety positions.
Yeah, I feel like Avery Young, he's a very strong kid mentally. Whether he gives up a pass or a touchdown, doesn't matter. It's always the next play, and I mean, a lot of people have that mentality, but when it actually happens, they're crushed. And I remember Avery just being in the game against Ohio State. It was always next play with him, and you could see that he genuinely meant that. So that's great for him moving forward because at the cornerback position, especially with all the man that we play, a lot of balls are going to be caught on you. That's just the nature of the game, and you're going to make your plays. So you just got to be ready for either or and know how to bounce back from it.
And you know, it's funny. The corners in general, and maybe this is an unfair statement, but you guys, you got a little attitude to you because you have to, and you almost have to because you are out there on an island a lot. Just talk to me about the mentality of that position and how you develop the short memory and the confidence.
Yeah, I feel like you develop the confidence at practice. The way you practice is the way you're going to perform, like I said that before. So that's everything. When you have a good week of practice and you go into that game on Saturday, you know if you're ready or not. And Coach Corey, my corners coach, he always tells us to have swag. And swag is confidence demonstrated through ability, so through practice ability. So when those opportunities come in the game, you've practiced it already before, so it's easy to have that swagger out there on the field. And at corner, you have to have that because with the man we play, you're out there by yourself. If a ball gets caught on you, the whole crowd, everyone's just looking at you. But on the same note, if you make a play, you got to give credit to your D-line, your coaches. So you got to know how to handle all those situations at corner.
I'm glad you brought up that word swag. I want to know who brings the swag to the defensive back room. I've been around you guys. I know you guys come out, I've been talking, and you guys are backing up. So who's the one who comes in the room, gets everyone going, gets the wide receivers hot, and everybody? I'm saying, who is that? I
honestly feel like it's a lot of us. Me, Saquon, Bless, Damon, those four I could say right there. We've played so much football. We have a lot of experience, so we definitely have that swagger to us in the DB room.
How about you, Saquon? Would you evaluate it the same way?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't single myself out. But I think everybody brings a different type of swagger to the unit.
See, but here's the thing: like you guys as a unit are, you're supposed to have swag. You're both supposed to say that you both have the most swag.
Oh yeah, I know, but
listen, just from my perspective. Let's talk about your teammates. What do people not know about this team off the field? What do they not know? You talked about the brotherhood. You guys as friends, the kinds of things you do in your downtime, helping these younger guys adapt to now school being involved as well. At first it was just football for them. Just tell me about that brotherhood and what goes into it, to developing these relationships.
Just developing it off the field, like hanging out, just going bowling with the guys, or just going out to a dinner or lunch, or just going to see a movie. That's stuff that we've all put in. We've all worked with each other, and we've done that off the field, not with our unit, but like say with an O lineman or a D lineman, we've just bonded and connected that way.
All right. So I'm going to ask you just a few questions about who's the best at what off the field. So you brought up bowling. Who's the best bowler on this team?
I think I'm the best bowler.
You think you're the best bowler?
I know I'm the best bowler.
You know you're the best bowler. Okay. What's your high score?
About 150 something.
150. 150.
That's the best.
It's all right. It's all right, man.
It's all right. 150 is the
well, listen,
best.
I know you're not hitting the lanes every week, but
yeah,
all right, that's not bad. Isaiah, who's the best singer on this team?
Best singer on the team?
Yeah.
Probably Julius.
I was gonna
Turner.
say,
I think he can sing pretty good. I'm not sure.
All right, I'll tie it in
Julius.
then. Does Julius also have the best hair on the team?
Nah. I mean, I don't really get haircuts up here that much because I'm from Florida. I probably only had like 3 or 4 haircuts up here in 5 years.
So you strictly just stick with your people at home?
Yeah, but when I do get a haircut, definitely me, fresh cut.
Best dancer on the team.
We have some good ones. Bless, Kassan, who else?
You?
Me, yeah. I'm an old head now, so I step back. I let the young kids do most of the dancing. I just observe now. I watch from afar. But yeah, we have a lot of good dancers. We have a lot of kids from New York on our team, and kids from New York can dance.
Get light.
Okay.
Yeah, they get light. A lot of that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned as as an older guy. I wanted to actually ask you, as you've been through this program now, you see the changes, the development of it. What's it been like from your freshman year, coming up here as a new guy from Florida to where you are now?
So just being a 5th-year senior, I could say this is the closest team I've ever been a part of.
Mm-hmm.
We hang out, especially over the summer, like every day, and it was just so normal to us. Like we was playing video games, we was hitting each other up, we was going to the movies, going out to eat, and it really felt like a genuine brotherhood. Like these are the closest I've ever been with these guys, and I'm happy that I've been a part of the senior class that could help change that. Because like I said, when you have that brotherhood, it makes it easier to play for one another. And that's probably the main thing I take away, like from my freshman year to now, is just the brotherhood is so strong. It's in a really good place right now.
All right, so what is it? Is it Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite's a big game right now.
All right, both of your choices, Fortnite or Netflix?
Netflix.
What are you watching?
I'm a big Power guy, which just ended.
Okay.
It's not on Netflix. It's on Starz.
Right, but you can catch up
when
on
I'm
there,
on
right?
Netflix,
Yeah.
I like to watch Law and Order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm big into
Check
that.
out the Ozark, man. That's a good one.
You know what, though?
went through it.
I gotta hang on there for a second because, like, if you've seen Ozark, there's about 15 different plot lines, and I'm asking more questions than I'm understanding what's going on.
I got the answers, Chris. I'll tell you later.
Okay. What are you watching, Isaiah?
What am I watching? Breaking Bad.
Yep.
I watch Dexter, The Office if I need some laughs. Those probably be my main three I watch a lot. I watch Power as well, a couple other shows.
Did you guys watch Last Chance U at all?
Yeah. I watched the first two, or the first one. I don't think I've watched the rest of them.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons of it, and I'm just curious, seeing those guys that they go to junior college and deal with that from your perspective. But, I mean, when you're, your downtime, it is Fortnite. Are you playing Fortnite too or no?
Nah, not really. I'm Netflix guy. I like
Netflix. Okay. Games are out.
Well, I'm glad you actually brought that up, Chris, because, people always see football players and you think that's all they do.
Right.
It's football, football, football. Can you talk a little bit about, besides Netflix and, just, going to school, or other things that you like to do? Because you are also, as you said, student athlete, and like to just, football, you need to get away from sometimes to decompress.
Probably some other things I like to do. Honestly, I just like to hang out at the house and chill with the guys. We could literally sit there for hours and just laugh about stuff, good times, bad times, hard lift, big plays we've made in games. It's literally so fun. That's what we do. And I live with a lot of the older guys, me, Trevor, Saquon, Bless, Deontay. We're all in one house. And a lot of the people on the team actually come over our house to chill and hang out. So that's probably the most fun thing I like to do when I'm not playing football, is just hang out with the guys.
So you sound like an old head, man.
I am, man.
Last one for both of you. After football's over, what do you see yourself doing? What do you think you'll be up to professionally?
Definitely. I want to play at the next level. I've been playing football since I was 4, and once it's time to hang the cleats up and I'm done, I definitely want to be a college football coach. I love the game. My family loves it. My family runs a youth football league back at home, so I have 5 uncles that are all coaching youth league. So I definitely want to be a college football coach one day.
How about you, Saquon?
Same, exactly.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Same exact thing.
Excellent.
I just want to stay involved with the game. I love it so much. I just want to be around it as long as I possibly can.
Well, you guys have been incredible representatives of Rutgers, and we thank you so much for coming down and hanging out tonight.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Isaiah Wharton and Saquon Hampton. We'll come back. We'll talk more with the coach about the matchup with Buffalo this week. This is the Chris Ash Show.
At Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, caring is more than a job. It's our responsibility as a business leader and as citizens of this state. Through the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey, we're committed to working alongside those who share our goals. We're caring for our neighbors by supporting programs that help them manage important health issues. We're connecting people with health education that's easier to understand and accessible to all members of our diverse communities. We're creating inspiration by supporting arts and cultural programs that entertain, illuminate, and enrich the lives of our citizens. By sharing our time and resources, we aim to be not only a better company, but a better member of the communities where we work and live. Visit us at community.horizonblue.com and learn more about how the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey is working to support organizations that make New Jersey healthier.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
When you think sports, think McGettigan's, the official watch party location for Rutgers football in the premier Irish bar in New York City. Enjoy our watch party specials with $10 buckets of wings and $5 Coors Light beer buckets, and great weekly specials such as Beer and Burger Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, and Ladies Night on Wednesdays. Located at 70 West 36th Street in Midtown Manhattan, the Gettigans is close to some of the city's most iconic landmarks, such as the Empire State Building and Madison Square Garden. So when you think sports, think McGettigans.
Back at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison for this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show. Rutgers getting ready for Buffalo this week. And once again, we want to thank all of our friends here at Quaker Steak and Lube. 15% of everyone's bill all day today going to Parents Project MD in honor of Danny Garofalo. It's the Dine to Donate here at Quaker Steak and Lube, and we appreciate their support just so much in Danny's memory. Again, supporting Parents Project MD. 15% of all the bills tonight will go toward that cause, a very worthy one, and we appreciate it very much. Coach, all right, so let's talk about this week and getting ready for Buffalo. You've talked a little bit about their program, but as far as your team, when you're getting ready for a game like this, it's your last non-conference game. How do you treat this when you have a team coming in that is a very good team in a mid-major conference? They're probably right at the top of their conference.
Yeah, they are. From what I've seen on film, they're probably the best team or close to it in the MAC this year. And every year you see MAC teams step up and beat teams across the country. But we're not approaching this game any different than any of the other games that are on our schedule. Every game's a big game for us. We have to prepare the best that we can play, or to play the best that we can play in any game, whether it's home or away. This is no different. Our challenge is to us to be able to play our style of football on Saturday, and that's it. Buffalo's a good football team. They've got good players, good coaches, all that. They're 3-0. But this game is about us, and it's about playing our style. It's about doing the things that you need to do to win games. And it's our effort, our fundamentals, taking care of the ball, not beating ourselves with mental errors and penalties. Those are the things that we talk about. Those are the things that we need to do. And, again, it doesn't matter who we play right now. That's what we have to do as a team.
Can you go a little bit more into detail, Coach, about this Buffalo team on their offense? I know they have a good quarterback and a really good wide receiver on their side. Can you talk a little bit more into details?
Yeah, they're pretty balanced offense, and they're a spread offense. I think their offensive line is very good, well coached. They don't ask them to do a whole lot, but what they do is very good at it. They are very good at it. The quarterback manages the game, takes care of the football, makes good decisions. He's been around now for 3 years, and you can see the progression that he made his first year. His interceptions to touchdowns compared to where it's at now. He's really done a nice job in playing at a high level for him, and they've got some good weapons out at on the outside. So they're a run first. They got a lot of RPOs that are kind of in vogue right now that they do off of it, and I think they do a good job of trying to keep balance and keep you off guard.
When you look at, just to go back to the two young men who were with us a moment ago, and you spoke so highly of them before, in Isaiah and Saquon, the impact that they have on the younger players who are getting some playing time on your defense in particular, and how they help guide them along.
They're everything. When you talk about building the culture and setting standards, I set it, but they're the ones that build it, and it's the older guys that build it. They're the ones that educate every new player that comes into the program on what those standards and what that culture is, and these guys have done an unbelievable job with that. They talked about the brotherhood, and that's so important. When a new player comes in, it does create competition for reps and playing opportunities, and these guys haven't shied away from any of that. What they do is embrace it. They put their arm around a lot of young guys and have really onboarded them into our program relatively fast. And they're all about the team, and that's what I love about them. They want to be the best that they can be, and they want to help the team be the best that it can be. And they've done an unbelievable job with the young players in the program.
I know you mentioned earlier, Coach, about turnovers and how it's hard to win games when you have 6 turnovers on offense and stuff like that. I want to know how much emphasis on defense do you put on trying to get turnovers and getting the ball back to the offense?
Yeah, well, the turnover ratio is, I think, the best team stat there is, because it truly is a team stat. One of our team goals that we have is to finish in the top half of the Big Ten in turnover margin. Right now, we're not anywhere close to that. That's an area that we have to get better at. It's an area that we talked about in December and January, right after last season. If we're going to get better, the ball has to become a higher priority to us. We've got to hold it in high regard on offense and special teams, and we've got to go after it defensively. And we have days devoted throughout training camp. We're working on takeaways all the time. Wednesday is a huge takeaway day for us. We've got Tackle Tuesday and Takeaway Wednesday, where we're working on a number of different things with the takeaways on defense. But that is the best team stat. It's an area that we've got to get better at. We've turned the ball over too much offensively. We have not taken it away enough on defense, and we've got to get that part of our football team fixed if we're going to win games. There's really the only stat that I look at right now that really matters.
All right, one more time out. We'll come back. Final thoughts from the head coach as Rutgers prepares for Buffalo this week here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison on the Chris Ash Show.
Traffic. It can be more stressful than that last-second Hail Mary pass, but Nissan changed the game. Nissan Rogue has available Nissan Intelligent Mobility, like ProPilot Assist, that can start and stop in highway traffic all on its own and help keep you centered. Nissan Rogue. It's a game changer. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. ProPilot Assist is an available feature and cannot prevent collisions. Always monitor traffic conditions. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. See owner's manual for safety information.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube. Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison. 732-777-WING.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
At Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, caring is more than a job. It's our responsibility as a business leader and as citizens of this state. Through the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey, we're committed to working alongside those who share our goals. We're caring for our neighbors by supporting programs that help them manage important health issues. We're connecting people with health education that's easier to understand and accessible to all members of our diverse communities. We're creating inspiration by supporting arts and cultural programs that entertain, illuminate, and enrich the lives of our citizens. By sharing our time and resources, we aim to be not only a better company, but a better member of the communities where we work and live. Visit us at community.horizonblue.com and learn more about how the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey is working to support organizations that make New Jersey healthier.
Just about a minute left with the head coach, Chris Ash, here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison. And I know one thing that you've got to love is that you get a chance to play at home here for a while. A stretch of 3 in a row and 4 of your next 5 at highpoint.com Stadium. And that's got to be welcome after being on the road back-to-back weeks.
Absolutely. It's always great to play in your home stadium in front of your home fans, your student section, your home routine. It's just, the guys are so comfortable with it. We are definitely excited about doing this 3-game homestand here over the next 3 weeks. We got to get it started off right this weekend with Buffalo, but we knew that the first 2, we're going to be tough, and we got to get back on track here at home.
And you need the fans this week.
Oh, absolutely. The fans always create a great environment. The student section was awesome against Texas State. We hope they come out and support our players and our football team and help lead us to victory.
All right, Coach, good luck on Saturday, and we will see you here next week.
Thank you, guys. It's always a great time, and looking forward to next week.
All Absolutely.
Right, Coach, good luck.
Good seeing you, and we'll see you on Saturday as well.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Want to thank our producer and engineer, Paul Schrager, Tim DeMartin, along with Colin Osborne from RVision helping get it done, Jimmy Gill and Hasim Phillips from the Rutgers Sports Information Department. Once again, the game this week, Rutgers taking on Buffalo. The game will be broadcast on Big Ten Network. It is a 12:01 kick, and of course you can catch it here as well on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network, our pregame show beginning at 11 a.m. with Mark Malusis and Julian Penix-Odrick. That'll do it from the Quaker Steak and Lube here in Edison. Thanks so much for joining us for this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show.
You've been listening to The Chris Ash Show on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Join us throughout the season from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison to hear from the head football coach of the Scarlet Knights. The Chris Ash Show has been brought to you by The Chris Ash Show is an exclusive presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.